I'm Priyanka Singh. Since we have already seen what is descriptive analytics and how to do basics of descriptive statistic using R, well, today we will be seeing a whole new topic, that is predictive analytics using R. This particular topic is so well received by every data science enthusiast and even machine learning enthusiast. Yes, you heard correctly. Machine learning. So let's start it with the video and let's see what are we going to explore in this video. The agenda for this video is basically classified into three sections. So the first section will be, we are going to see what is predictive analytics. In this section, we will see the brief definition of predictive analytics along with the architectural diagram that will explain you the entire process of predictive analytics. In second stage, we are going to see the different stages of predictive analytics. Well, there are different fundamental development stages that are related with your predictive analytics. So we are going to see that as well. In the last section, we are going to see the features of R that makes it appropriate, the most crucial and very fascinating choice for doing predictive analytics. So what makes R unique? We are going to see in this last section. Let's start and see what is predictive analytics. Well, this particular section will give you the definition and basic working of predictive analytics. So let's see. Predictive analytics is that field of data science where we make future predictions by taking historical data into consideration. Predictive analytics combines various techniques like data mining, statistics, machine learning, your basic probability concepts, which allows us to analyze the current or present data so as to make future prediction, which will in turn benefit the organization for which you are working in or for your personal benefit or your personal business. Also, one of the basic fundamental features of predictive analytics is that it allows business users to create predictive intelligence that is now currently being used in your business, in taking business decision in favor of your organization. Basically, a critical thinking which is then converted into a basic business decision which will favor your organization in terms of monetary value or customers, a number of customers, customer segmentation, etc. So let's see the process of predictive analytics. Well, we have the historical data which we have collected from various different sources. That is then fed into the algorithm. Now here we have to make and design algorithm which will take into consideration all the factors like what are the important attributes that may affect your business decisions, what are the relation between several attributes, how they should be treated, what are the categorical, non-categorical values, all the stuff we have to think while designing algorithm. Then on the top of this algorithm, we have our model. So we have already built the model on the basis of historical data, that is past data. Well, you have to check the accuracy, precision for your model, because better the accuracy of model, better is your prediction. So we have to validate our model also. Once the model is ready, you have to feed it with the present data. So your present data will go into the model and finally a future prediction will be done. This is what predictive analytics, and this is what the basic process of predictive analytics. Moving ahead, Let's see what are the different developmental stages of predictive analytics, as it is very important to know what are the different steps that are required for doing any predictive analytics. Now I will take you to the entire journey that is involved in predictive analytics. So just fasten your seat belts and let's fly over it. So the first step for any predictive analytics problem is that you should be clear about your problem definition. Like if you work for an organization, your business goals should be kept in mind while designing your problem definition. Thus, problem definition is always, you know, acquainted with by taking advices from all the stakeholders that are related to your project, be it developers, be it business unit or production unit, all should come together and decide a final goal or problem statement for your predictive analytics project. Later on, the next step is data collection. Then we have to collect the data accordingly. Since the data are present in different external sources. Now I give you a very brief example, like if you want to predict a patient's health, the data related to it will be uploaded on the medical sites or portals. So from there you can scrap out all the data with the help of web scraping tools that are available in Python or different languages. You can scrap those data and put it into a table. Also, there are some kind of prescription description available in PDF. You can also extract those valuable data from there. So basically, I'm just telling you have to gather the data from various external sources and present it into a similar structured way. So most of the data will be unstructured also. So you have to take interest in making those unstructured into a structured format and basically present all those data on a single table. So when you have the data, now what we are going to do the next? We have to clean that data, because in data we have lots of garbage value, and this garbage value, I mean to say that there are numerous numbers of missing values, null values, redundant values, which are very necessary to make any predictive model. So this step is the most cliche step of your predictive analytics, but it is the more time consuming and the very crucial stage for your predictive analytics. Later on, moving ahead, we'll go into data analysis step. Now, since we have already discussed about descriptive analytics, so this will come into your data analysis step. For example, you have to find out the basic statistic, that is mean, median, mode, standard deviation and variance that is related to your data. In this step also, you have to find out the distribution for each of the variable that is associated with your data. You have to find out the relation between two non-numeric, numeric or non-numeric, different categorical or continuous values. You have to basically find out the correlation matrix. Also, with the help of intuitive charts and visualization, you can also predict what will be the outliers or what are the missing values or which section is staggered, where are the scattered values, point value, etc. All those inference can be drawn in this step. So this is again a very important step for predictive analytics. Moving ahead, we have a next step, that is building predictive model. Now, since we have the data, now we have to build a model over it. That is our prediction model. So you can use any of the machine learning models such as logistic regressions, random forest, based on your data. You should, because why I'm saying based on your data, because while doing data cleaning and data analysis, you are acquainted with your data. You know the structure of your data, how many numeric or non-numeric values are there in your data. So you know your data, and that is how we build a predictive model. Once the model is made, now you have to validate it. So how validation can be done? You have to calculate the accuracy of each model, and the accuracy which has the higher value will always yield you the better result. So always select that model which gives you the higher accuracy. At last, we will deploy our model on the basis of present data, current data, and a continuous maintenance is required. Because since we are receiving new data, so we again have to data clean, data analyze it, and validation should be there. So a continuous maintenance and model development should be there. So this is all the various stages that are involved in predictive analytics. So what are the features of R? Why we are understanding it? Because since we are doing predictive analytics with the help of R, so we should know what is there in R that makes it unique to do predictive analytics. So let's explore the functionalities and basic features of R. I'll be discussing few. Well, there are a lot more to explore in R. So the first one is, and very, very exciting related to R, is that it is so easy to learn and use. Even a naive user can learn this language and start using it within just 2 to 3 days of basic knowledge of R. So quite easy to learn and use because it has lots of statistical features as well. It has excellent statistical features. For example, even to calculate a basic mean, median, and frequency, cumulative mass functions, PMF, etc., you just have to use a single command, that is summary. So you can understand how it is so easy and so user friendly that it gives you all those details within single command. So this has a very great statistical feature, so makes your descriptive statistic part quite easy. Now it has inbuilt function for data analysis. As I have given you one example, that is summary, there are a lot more examples and packages that are available, which makes your data analysis process quite easy. For example, even if you want to find the correlation between say two variables, it has just a single library, that is correlation. You just have to install it and use core function and core cost, etc., which you can use for doing basic correlation. Even it has provided you with the all three types, that is Pearson, Spearman, quite easy, very easy to use. So it has a lot of inbuilt functions. Also, a large amount of packages are there. As far as I have read somewhere, that it has 8,000 plus packages. So quite huge collection of packages. So I should say you should go for R. Also data visualization. Now nobody in this world, I guess in this world, I mean to say a data scientist world, will deny the fact that R has better visualization than Python. Yes, it might hurt some of the Python enthusiasts, but I should say that data visualization that is provided in R has better features. So you should start exploring all these functions, packages, data visualization library in R, and will justify with me and will agree with me that yes, R is good choice if you want to do descriptive stats or data visualization as well as predictive analytics. So this is all the unique functions and features of R. See the real-time example for predictive analytics. As we have lots of theory, now we want to see how predictive analytics is useful in real-time or real-time data set. So let's see a very quick example. Well, demand forecasting. Now, I think this particular example will fit into any of the industry, be it retail industry, be it manufacturing based industry, be it clothing, be it makeup products, be it books, libraries, packages based company. This particular example will fit into any of the industry. So this is my favorite, and that is demand forecasting. In this, how demand forecasting, let us say if you have the past data of your sales, like in June month you have this amount of packages you have sold, so you can predict how many packages will be sold down the line in 5 years, what will be the most procured product, what will be the highly consumed product. So this will give a better decision making insights to your business unit. So you can go for this demand forecasting because you already have the past historical data for daily to daily transaction, because that is stored in SAP or HANA or HBase, Hadoop, big data. So you have a lots of data that is related to your demand in any of the organization. So try doing predictive analytics in this particular direction, and I assure you this will be the best real-time example for doing any predictive analytics.
I hope you like my video. So guys, please like, comment and share our video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.